Hey everyone, and welcome to episode number 13 of Principal Sparks. My name is Andrew Marotta, host of Principal Sparks here on DisruptED TV, and I'm excited to be here with you once again. So it's Sunday night. I'm getting ready to wrap up for the weekend here and get to bed so I can get to school tomorrow. But I did want to share, this was not what I had planned on doing this weekend, but we watched Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Won't You Be My Neighbor? There's a new documentary out that was part of the research that went into the new film that's coming out about Mr. Rogers. He's being played by Tom Hanks. But my wife and I sat and we watched the documentary. It's an hour and a half long and it is fantastic. Is it about education? No. Is it great for you as a principal or a school leader? Absolutely. By the end of it, we were filled with emotion, covered in tears, and really just brought out the goodness that there is in others and goodness in giving of yourself to children, which is our role as a principal. So I right away jotted down a couple of thoughts, and here 2 days later, we watched it on Friday night, it's now Sunday. I'm still filled with emotion, filled with kindness, and gratitude for the things I have in my life. But a couple of points from watching that documentary, Won't You Be My Neighbor? Number one, be kind. Be kind to those kids. Be kind to your staff. Show kindness. Speak with kindness. Have your body language show kindness. And Mr. Rogers did that all the time. And they interviewed a number of people that knew him in his personal life and his family and his children and said, is he really like this in real life? And they said he was. So that was great to see. Number two, like people as they are. This was a recurring theme in the show and a recurring theme that he talked about with kids and liking them as they are and liking them who they are. Number three, children need to know that the grown-ups will always make it right. We want to empower our kids. We want to have them be leaders, but they need to know that they could come to us, their teachers, their educators, and those closest to us to help them. And I thought that was a great line. He did it his way. Point number four, he did it his way. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood came in a time where they were making children's cartoons faster with more images and more violence and pies in the face. He talked about that a lot. And he slowed it down. He made it simple. He spoke slowly and kept it simple. So while the rest of the world was speeding up and going faster, Fred Rogers made it a point to keep it simple. Number five, he put the work in. He played all of those characters and those voices. He produced it. He came up with the ideas for the show. He worked his tail off, and it came out in a great show that has lived on for generations and helped so many people. I was shocked by this. Number six, he even doubted himself. Here's Mr. Rogers, right? I think he's got it all. He's got his own show, talks to kids, loves kids. He doubted himself. There were times he didn't think he could continue on, and even as he neared death, his wife told the story. Was he a sheep? Was he good enough for God? Was he a sheep or was he a goat? And for Will Rogers to doubt himself, sometimes we doubt ourselves, right? Are we doing a good job? Are we doing enough? Are we a good leader? I know I do. And when I heard that, it was like, wow, even Mr. Rogers doubted himself. And the other part of that, number seven, even Mr. Rogers was criticized. When he passed, there was so much protesting and just negativity. Some of the things like, how could they criticize Mr. Rogers? How is that possible? So I know we take a lot of criticism in our job as principal. Hey, they can criticize us. They can criticize Mr. Rogers. So, and the last point I wanted to make, he did it his way, right? Again, all of these things were happening with television, and they were just changes with it, and he kept it his way. He came in that same door, the same way, took the sweater off, and who would have known those sweaters would have become such a big thing? But he did it his way, and I kind of like that Frank Sinatra song. So I recommend you sit with a loved one, you watch that documentary, Won't You Be My Neighbor, Fred Rogers. It was great. I know I will see the movie when it comes out. So we're going to wrap up here. This was episode number 13 of Principal Sparks. My name's Andrew Marotta, host of the show. We're here on DisruptED TV and thrilled to be on. And they got a lot of programs. I know there's a new app coming out, but there's a lot of DisruptED programs that are doing great things in education. So very grateful to Rich Allen and his team in Belmar, New Jersey. Keep up the great work, guys. Andrew Marotta, we can connect on Twitter at Andrew Marotta 21. And I just released a new website. I just got that website upgraded, andrewmarotta.com. So if I could help you in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. Continue to go out and do great jobs in your school and lead the staff, the students, and the community. Take care.